This is the 1.8 liter engine. This is what your fuel pump should look like. So we have to get this back seat up. The fuel pump is beneath the back seat. If you reach down here, and then you can just pull up like that. And then the same thing on the opposite side over here. Reach down and pull up. So now the whole seat should be loose like that. And then just get that out. Really, really simple. All right, so we're back here in the trunk. So if you come right to the front here, you can get your hand and you can pull this up. Get your fingers back here, and you can just, you hear it snap. You can pull that, and it snaps up just like that. You can see there's 2 snaps in there, and that's what you got to pull out from there. And after that, we can just pull this up and out. And this is the fuel pump location here. These are 12 millimeters. So let's go ahead and get these 2 out. That bolt there, and there's another bolt on the opposite side. That is that bolt right there. So let's get those 2 12 millimeters out. Okay, so now that all 4 of those bolts are out, we can pull this up here. Just like that. All right, so let's drop the seat right here. There is you can just pull this and you can hear that. So we can go to the back seat now and pull that seat down. Just like that. So let's get all 4 of these Phillips head screws out. I'm going to tuck this through. So there's glue down here on this side. I have to break that glue. You can see there's a simple harness plug to be removed. Squeeze that tab there and you can pull this straight up. Now we can pull this rubber back through there and get this out the way. All right, so now the fuel pump here is fully exposed. So these 2 tabs right here, squeeze them in like this, and you can pull this line off slowly. Now, you might get some fuel to spray out of here, so just be careful and inspect that. So it's going, just gotta go real slowly. You can see it going. So you can see this is out, so I can use both hands now, and just like that, it's off. Well, almost off. There we go. There goes a little bit of fuel. Now this one here is similar. There's 2 tabs on the sides. Press these 2 tabs in and we can push this off. All right, so if you don't have a special tool for this, like I don't, there's a couple ways you can get this out. So you don't want to cause any sparks. So you don't want to use metal on metal when hitting this. So I have a punch. This is a metal punch, but this is a brass punch. But I'm using a rubber hammer. And if you want to use the metal side of the hammer, then you can use something like this, which is a wooden punch. So I'm going to use the wooden punch first. I'm going to start here. So you're going to put it against one of these ridges, and you can use your hammer and you can hit it counterclockwise. You can see it's moving already. And this is with using the wooden one. Now the wooden one, I like it better because it's softer on the plastic. And we're replacing this plastic piece anyway, so it don't really matter that much. But just in case yours didn't come with the new plastic piece, the wooden one is softer on the plastic. And if you don't have a wooden punch, if you have any kind of saw, you can just get a stick and cut it. Just get a solid stick, like an old pool stick or just any random stick, and cut it. And you can use it as a wooden punch. Now again, if you want to use if you don't have wood, you can still use a metal punch. just make sure when you hit the metal punch, you're using a rubber hammer. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like if I was using a metal punch. So right now I'm using the rubber hammer, so I'm not causing any sparks, and I'm getting it to turn. So there's a couple of different methods you can use to get this out. I'm gonna finish getting this out now. Okay, after a while, it becomes easy enough to turn it by hand. So remember this little film right here that goes on that lip. Remember that. Keep that in mind when we're putting our new part on. So you remember how that goes. It goes right underneath this part here. And now we can pull this fuel pump straight up like that. So you can hear that fuel falling back down in there. So we're gonna release this. We're gonna take this out really slow to make sure that most of the fuel get back down in there. All right, so let's check out the difference between our new and old pump. This is the old pump here. There's not much difference with the float, but there is a little, this piece here is smaller. You can see that this bigger piece there, but everything else is pretty much the same. So it's time to get this new one in. All right, so I'm gonna start with the float first. Get that float drop down in there. And it's really just that simple. And then this piece here, we can slide this piece over. So I got the rubber part down here. It's inside here. You can see that right there. So now we can push this down inside of it. Okay, so I managed to push it all the way down. Get this little film right here on the outside, this little gasket. And this is the new piece that came with it. So you gotta hold this down with one hand the whole time. You can't let it go. All right, let's get this started. All right, so I used the wooden punch to get this in the same way I got the old one out. All right, so I had to pull this one off of the old one. Let's go ahead and push this on here like that. Now I can get this on. So you want to line this up with that. Just like that. Okay, we are on, and it's not coming back off. So that's how it's supposed to be. Now this piece here, let's pop this back on. Just like that, you hear that click. And it's really that simple, guys.